Alright, welcome to another recap video. We'll be looking at what happened in price today. We have three layouts here. One is the 1 hour time frame, the 50 minutes time frame, and then the 5 minutes time frame. Straight up, but we will be focusing on the 1 hour time frame. If you saw the Friday video that was dropped, where we did an entire recap of what happened all of last week and what we are most likely expecting for this week, you would then see that price has kind of been flowing in the direction that we expected close of Friday. So one of the things that we're looking at was how price was going to come back into these levels to sweep this liquidity to continue going up, coupled with the fact that we had a bullish fair value gap. I'm just going to hide this real quick. Alright, we have a bullish fair value gap right there on the daily. That would make sense for us to reprice into to continue going for the all-time highs. So we opened on Sunday night and we had this expansion, created this high and started to move down. This to me only just validated that we expecting price to move back into taking this liquidity, the equilibrium, the 0.62 level, and possibly the OT level, which all aligns towards those points. I'm just going to enable all that back. Yeah, and basically to get this point is this price range all the way to this price range. That's basically what it is. So as you can see, we have the OTE at the 0.75, the 0.62, and then 0.5, which is the equilibrium, basically the midpoint between the entire range. For us to have a fair value price has to move, create a range, come back into discount and continue that range. Basically, forming off that premise, we were expecting price to come back into fair value, which is basically range from price from here all the way here and possibly even down here. But of course, we wouldn't want price to take these levels, but we'd expect price to move into this range. And this range is also where we have our, our fair value gap on the daily price. So all that aligns. With the entire drop we had all of today, we didn't get into that. So I would expect us to still have some form of move down into this level before continuing up. I won't be surprised when price decides to create a false sense of expansion to the upside just to get people long and fail. Basically, manipulate, come back down here just to move higher. So I wouldn't be surprised. We have these levels here, which is relatively equal highs. So I wouldn't be surprised if price does something like this, only to come back into the OT and then move for all-time highs for across the rest of the week. So like I said in the Friday video, we're expecting price to come back into that fair value gap and then move up. So we expect that move to happen between Monday and Tuesday. So possibly Tuesday being the low of the week, and then we start to move into higher prices for the all-time highs. Yeah. So that's basically what we're expecting, and that's the summary of the recap that we did on Friday. What happened today? Today was pretty straightforward. Since we knew that we were expecting price to move down, all we needed to do was see if price was willing to move down. And if you can see on the 1 hour, when price opened on Sunday, we created this long wick candle close, and we started to create lower candles on the 1 hour time frame. So this was next one. This opened right there, went back up. To me, just to take that high of that candle, created a low. If you understand candle formations, you basically know that this is saying that the next set of candle that's printing lower is going to be like an expansion lower. So forming premise of that, we're just dropping down to say 15 minutes, and we want to see if we have anything that relates to like a bearish fair value gap, which is one that was created right about here. If you see this right there, so that's a bearish fair value gap on 15 minutes, which price came back into. We had this first touch, came lower, came back into it, and then started to fall right off. If you were able to catch this kind of shot, that was great. Targets we relative equal lows that we have here, so this part getting there, or we wait for our setup, which is actually what we traded today, which is a 1 hour reprice. So as you can see, right about here, we had this move down. This is a 1 hour time frame, fair value, bearish fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. Those are the two that we have in price, and we can see our price came into it. And knowing that has repriced, all we're doing now is dropping down to the 15 minutes time frame right about here. See that? This is the close of that 1 hour candle, repricing the 1 hour fair value, bearish fair value gap, and you can see how we created this 15 minutes fair value gap right there. So the trade we took today was essentially the short from that point, stops at the high of the 1 hour fair value gap, and we're just targeting the equilibrium levels, which basically gave us a 2.47 RR trade, 72 ticks rigs, and 178 targets right there. And of course, price has been dancing around this and dancing around this. So, and that's really our trade for today. The 1 hour fair value gap going in the direction that we're expecting, then we'll drop down to a 15 minutes. We also need another fair value gap in that 15 minutes going in that direction, and that's just our trade right there. Yeah, that's pretty much the highlight of what happened today. Tomorrow or overnight, I'll be expecting us to back to the 1 hour, possibly sweep these levels just to get people long, and then do something nasty to come back down. Possibly sweeping these lows, getting into that fair value gap, sweeping all this liquidity on the left, and then continue back up. Yeah, that's it. See you same time tomorrow with what we're expecting, or what happened, and what we're expecting for the following day. Thank you. Have a great one.